Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne, and here at Chronically Beautiful, we are trying to live our best life, even though we probably don't feel like it. And you might be here today because you really don't feel like it and because you might have a stomach ache. I hope that you're not here because of that. I hope you're just trying to be proactive, but chances are you're probably here because you have a stomach ache or you're feeling nauseous and you're trying to figure out how to get rid of it. Well, I hope that I can help you. I am someone who is plagued with stomach aches and nausea on a pretty regular basis and have been for probably 20-25 years. So after all of that time, I feel like I figured out pretty well how to deal with stomach aches, and I am going to share that wisdom with you, and hopefully will make you feel a little bit better. While you're here, please don't forget to subscribe in this little box. I think it's right here. And I'd love it if you gave this video a thumbs up after you've watched it, of course. I don't expect you to just thumb up because I said so, but if you liked it, I'd love it if you showed me that. And please don't forget to ring the bell so that you can be notified of all my future uploads. I do videos about health. I do videos about beauty. Sometimes we just chat. There's a lot going on here. And I'm really glad that you're here. So let's dive right in. So the good old fashioned first thing that is my go-to when I really, really feel sick is my Canada Dry. And I am not a Verner's fan, and I am from Michigan. And everybody up here, you can't get Verner's everywhere.
It's a Michigan original since 1866.
But I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's too sweet. I like Canada Dry, Schweppes, any of those that are like a more dry ginger ale. So ginger ale for me. And then crackers, of course. So these are glutino. They're gluten-free saltines, basically. They are much flatter and denser than regular saltines, like most everything, but they do the trick. And I know there have been a lot of people out there who have been sick and had a stomach ache and didn't realize they had a gluten sensitivity, and they're just eating saltines all day long, which is just making it worse. So make sure that you can handle these things if you're going to eat them. There's a lot of sugar in this, a lot of carbs in this, but I let myself just go for it when I'm not feeling well. So first things first, ginger ale and crackers. The next thing that you might be surprised about are Lunns cough drops. I don't have the bag, but you know what the bag looks like. Lunns cough drops. They're the ones that you only wanted when you were a kid. You only wanted Lunns because they taste like candy. The reason I suggest these or anything similar, first of all, they don't have a medicine-y taste, which is gross, but they have pectin in them. And pectin is kind of a numbing agent. That is why it helps your throat to feel better when you take this. It's also in apples, so apple slices would do the trick as well, but these are nice if you're just really having that sort of nausea. This kind of settles things down a little bit, and typically most people have these around some kind of cough drop in your house. Any kind of hard candy honestly really helps me, especially something a little more sour. Lemon heads are something that I typically have around if I'm feeling nauseous. Something sour will help, but these are a good way to go. Lunns cough drops. Something else that you might not think would be a good thing when you are nauseous is actually good old-fashioned Benadryl. So these are like the Walmart brand or whatever, but it's just, you know, Benadryl, these little pink guys that you take when you feel itchy, when you're feeling allergic to something. These, for whatever reason, because of the antihistamine in them, it will settle your stomach down in a pinch. And I should mention too, I am severely emetophobic. And what that means is that I have a phobia of vomiting. I have not vomited in 20 years because I have a legit phobia, like full out panic attack, cannot cope, cannot deal. I do not help when the kids are sick. That's my husband's job. I know that sounds horrible. I'm the worst, but I have a legitimate phobia, and it's something I'm working through. And I get a little better every day. I even had a kid puke in my classroom for the first time ever last year, and I didn't completely lose it, which is a huge step for me. So I am really big on anything I can to avoid feeling like I'm going to vomit because it freaks me out so much. It's not just like, oh, I'm weird about it. Nobody enjoys it, but people know who if you're emetophobic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a real thing. It's a legit thing. Look it up, although be careful because when you look it up, sometimes you see things you don't want to see. I don't look it up. So that's one of the reasons that I have so many different ways and so many things that you could stack, because I don't want to get sick because it freaks me out. Nobody wants to get sick, really. And some people say, well, just let it out, you'll feel better. Not me. Can't do it. Won't do it. Not doing it.
What do you mean you're not gonna do it? Not gonna do it.
Another thing that I would highly recommend is Meclizine, which is a motion sickness drug. It's like what's in Dramamine. This is a prescription, actually. It's called Antivert. I get vertigo pretty bad, and I get these horrible spells of vertigo. And if you get vertigo, you know that it can make you very, very nauseous, and it can make you feel like you're on a boat that's rocking and make you want to puke in about 2 seconds. And I get vertigo, and that terrifies me. So Meclizine is super, super helpful. You can buy it over the counter. This is 25 milligrams. It's a subscription. It's a prescription, but you can get it in 25 milligrams at the store. Just look, when you're there, you can even just get the store brand of motion sickness tablets. They come in chewable or whatever. This will help if you're having dizziness that's making you feel nauseous, and it will also take the edge off of your nausea as well. Something that sort of goes along with that are these guys, which are called Sea-Bands. They are amazing. I always have them with me, whether I'm on a boat or not.
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat!
And they are stretchy bands. They come in all shapes, sizes, kinds. These are just the easy ones. You got 6 pairs for like $5 on Amazon. So they have this little button on them. And when you look inside, it is pretty raised. And you put them on your wrist, and you put your 3 fingers. We'll go like this. You put your 3 fingers right here, like kind of between those 2 tendons, starting here, 1, 2, 3, and where the 3rd finger lands is where you want to put that button. So that's how you know where to put it, and that is your pressure point for nausea. It's an acupressure point, and so the first thing I do when I start feeling nauseous is I grab these guys and put them on immediately before I even take anything. And sometimes this will do the trick, which is really nice. But this is something that you would wear if you are going on a boat, going on a plane, just feeling nauseous in general. You could even just rub that, just rub that area. Just put your thumb in there. Once we were on the boat, my stepmom usually has these. She didn't have any on her, so she took Band-Aids and taped them to her wrist with Mentos underneath. Anything will work. A Skittle, whatever. I've done it before where I have lodged something underneath a hairband because I didn't have these and I was really not feeling well. So these are great. Again, they're called Sea-Bands or motion sickness bands. They are another more natural thing is chewable papaya enzymes. It helps to break down food and helps to just get everything going. It encourages nutrient absorption, but I find this to be pretty helpful. And if you just make this, if you're someone who's plagued with indigestion and issues like that, just start making this a regular part of your routine. They say to chew a couple of these after every meal. They taste good, which is kind of fun. They kind of have like a fruity papaya tropical sort of taste. They're just these little guys here. I don't mind if I do, actually. They come in a gigantic bottle with 600 of them. You can get them on Amazon. So these are nice ones to have and just kind of work into your routine. This is from Standard Process. It is called Gastrex. And Gastrex helps with nausea and stomach issues. It helps with digestion. So when I first feel that stomach ache coming on, I always have a few of these in my little, this is my little purse meds, and it's full of like every little pill on the planet, but I always have some of these in there. And they're all natural. If I'm starting to feel icky, I'll take 1. If I'm really not feeling well, I'll take 2. But these are a really nice thing to have. They're a little more pricey. So activated charcoal is our next favorite fight against nausea thing. So if you think about the way that charcoal works, if you have like a filter in your fish tank or something like that, the water runs through it. The charcoal hangs on, and like your Brita filter, there's charcoal in there. The charcoal absorbs and hangs onto and grabs all of the impurities and toxins, and then the rest of the water comes through clean. So the idea with this is that you take, they're just a regular little capsule, and be careful because if you keep them in your purse, they will like break open everywhere and cover everything you own with this black charcoal powder. Now, I've heard. And this is the same kind of charcoal as well that you would use on your teeth when people use charcoal toothpaste. You could just break one of these suckers open, mix it with your regular toothpaste, you know, in a little bowl and call it a day instead of having to buy fancy charcoal toothpaste. 2 birds, 1 stone. I think these are maybe like $6 or $7 on Amazon. So the idea is that you take these and whatever toxins and impurities and stomach bugs and viruses and junk that are in your system. These will absorb all of that and it'll carry it on out of your body. So you have to be careful when you take these though, because they will also absorb, if you've just taken a vitamin or something like that, they will grab onto that stuff as well. They will also potentially cause constipation, so you have to be careful when you're taking these. But I will typically take, if I'm feeling like I'm getting some kind of stomach bug or something, I will immediately start taking these. I will take up to 4 a day. Another thing that I would pair with these is purple grape juice or red grape juice. Red grape juice is supposed to do the same thing. It creates an environment that's very acidic and that viruses and germs do not like and can't survive in. There are people that swear by drinking grape juice every day, and I mentioned that in my video where I made my detox drink, which I'll link either at the end of the video or in that little thingy up there. But it's the same idea. So if somebody in my house is sick with a stomach thing, I'm immediately taking this and I'm immediately drinking the grape juice just to create an environment that those viruses are not going to do well in. So activated charcoal always keeps them on hand. It's just a good idea. It does a lot of different things. Do some research. That's a good one. Good old apple cider vinegar. This is something that I don't typically go a day without in my house. If I am feeling the kind of nauseous that I can handle drinking something that smells and tastes nasty, I will do some of this. Actually, I'll drink some of my detox drink in grape juice instead, because it also has honey, which is great for nausea. It has ginger, which is great for nausea. It's got the apple cider vinegar, which is good for it, the grape juice. So I would do that. So again, I'll link that so you can check that out. But in a pinch, this by itself or in some warm water or some warm tea or warm juice, something like that will help, again, to create that environment that kind of balances things out and neutralizes things so that the bad stuff can't survive. I have a couple of different little ginger candies here, and both of them I like equally well. So these are Prince of Peace Ginger Chews, and these are Gingins Ginger Chews, and there's another one called Gingies, which I think are super cute because they've got like little ginger little guys on there that are like made of ginger root. They're all chubby and cute. So these are, you can see they're like bendy, and these ones are pretty big. You could bite that in half and just do part of it. They are gluten-free, 100% natural. They are just ginger chews. The only ingredients I think are ginger and sugar. So if you don't do sugar, this is not for you. But these are great. I really, really love these for fighting any kind of viruses, but especially for nausea. Ginger is like the age-old go-to for nausea. And I think they taste good. They're kind of hot, which is cool. They're like hot and sweet at the same time. I think they're good. Like I just eat them for fun. Just good old-fashioned hot tea. Peppermint tea is the way to go. So along with ginger, peppermint is the other like most important natural thing for a stomach ache. People would chew ginger root, or they would chew peppermint leaves depending on what part of the world they were in, or they would steep a ginger root or steep peppermint leaves to make tea. So the teas that typically help me, just having the warmness and that heat and warmth in your belly can really help, especially if you are dealing with stomach aches that are related to stress or IBS or those kinds of things that are making all of your muscles tense up. Peppermint, chamomile tea is always a winner for me when I have a stomach ache, and then lemon ginger as well. So we're working all of those things in that are those natural like go-tos for stomach aches. Getting more into some sort of meds. This is another medicine, and this is called Nausea. I believe it comes in a pink box. These are chewable tablets, and they are kind of like Pepto-Bismol, but I just think that they work better, and they're not as chalky, and they help more with that nauseous feeling. It's not necessarily indigestion, but you know what I'm talking about, that nauseous feeling, like you're just not sure what's going to happen and is not good. And you can find them at your local drugstore. I find that they're usually down at the bottom because this is not a real well-known medicine, and I'll link it. So these last ones are my top three favorite, like it's so much fun having a stomach ache. My top 3 favorite go-to ride or die, always work stomach medicines. And this one is just good old-fashioned Gas X. Gas X, it's not just for gas anymore. So no, so Gas X is simethicone is the name of the medication, and some people do a prescription for this. When I first got diagnosed with IBS, which they called it spastic colon back then, which just sounds really, it's not good. Anything that's wrong in that general area is not going to sound very glamorous. But again, that IBS is, they called it spastic colon because the muscles in your intestinal walls are like freaking out. And mine really gets kicked up and really gets bad when I'm stressed out. When there's like immediate stress happening or just long-term stress, something that's getting me over and over. And I have really changed my lifestyle in the past couple of years to do everything that I can to avoid that. So I've not needed this as much because I've started really practicing self-care and trying to stay calm. I've gotten onto blood pressure medicine, which has helped. But the simethicone is an antispasmodic. And what that means is that it relaxes those muscles that are in your intestines that are freaking out. So when you have gas, the gas bubbles are moving through and your muscles are, and you get that pain. You ever get one of those like gas bubble pains where you're like, something's killing me from the inside. I'm going to go to the hospital. And they're like, it's just gas. This is what calms those muscles down and kind of allows the gas to move through. Now, when you take this, if you've got really bad gas, it will work, but it's all coming out eventually. So you're going to end up with like a serious flatulence situation like the next morning when you wake up if you took this for gas, so just be prepared. But these are really, really good. Essential oils. How have I not mentioned these before really on any of my videos? But essential oils are the bomb. So my number one, if I had to only pick one essential oil for all my life to have, it would be peppermint oil. So peppermint oil for a stomach ache. You can use it in a couple of different ways. And I will only ingest an essential oil if I am really desperate in a stomach ache situation. Like I think I'm going to throw up. Then I'm going to do just one drop, like under my tongue. It's very rare that I would do that, and I probably wouldn't do it with this particular brand. It's like Nature's Truth from Meyer. That's when I would be pulling out my, what's the really expensive one? I can't remember the brand, but I've got some of them. You know the one. It's not doTERRA, but the other one. Shoot. I also trust the Fabulous Franny oils, which I'll link those. Those are my go-to. So you could either throw a drop under your tongue or just pour a few drops into your hand and just rub it on your belly. You will feel it topically. It feels like kind of like icy hot. And then the oils will go in through your pores and kind of get into your system and work their magic. It is a beautiful thing. The other oil that I would recommend is ginger oil. Do the same thing with ginger essential oil, or find a nice stomach blend. So this is from Fabulous Franny. It is a tummy roll-on. It's called Tummy Ease, and it's got spearmint, ginger, fennel, all those guys. There's peppermint, stuff like that. The Young Living, woo! That's the thing. They have a really good digestive blend. I think it's called DGs or Digees. That's a really good one, but it's very expensive. But every brand at this point, because it's become a real popular game, this essential oils thing, has some kind of stomach blend. And Fabulous Franny has a couple different ones. But yeah, same thing. So what I usually do is put the stomach blend on first. This is a roll-on, so it's super handy. And I have a peppermint roll-on too that I keep in my purse. I'll put that one on first, rub it in, and then I'll put the peppermint on over top of that, rub it in. And if I'm at home, I will put a heating pad over top of that and just lay there and just let it all seep in and just start feeling better immediately. And I think that takes us to, drum roll, my absolute number one go-to, never lets me down, has fixed every stomach ache I've ever had since I found them, and the kids, and just anybody who I've recommended this to. That is Highlands Tummy Ache for Kids homeopathic supplement. And I can never get this to focus, so I'm not going to try, but I will link it. And so these are so great. You take them, they're for kids too. You'll find them in the children's medicine section. If you don't find them in the stomach medicine, it'll be in the children's medicine. And most stores do have this. I know Meyer and CVS both carry it for sure. So they are just these teeny tiny little pills, and you just take them and you set them under your tongue. They're sublingual, and they will dissolve under your tongue. It says 3 for a kid, and I use 3, and they, oh my gosh, I don't know what's in these things. I've looked it up before, but it's incredible. Everybody on the planet needs to have this. Not sponsored, but I wish that I would be all about that. I can't even. This is the best stuff on earth. It's not like a Snapple. Is that Snapple? Sorry. Sorry, Snapple. Okay, but this stuff's amazing. It's way better than Snapple. If I had only one stomach medicine to choose, it would definitely be this one. But all of this that we've covered, I know it seems excessive, but you know, if you are someone who's plagued with nausea and stomach aches chronically, you know it's the worst thing ever. It's a serious drag. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you left this video feeling a little bit better, knowing that you're not alone and that other people are dealing with all this awful stuff. And it is just a serious drag. It's the worst when you don't feel good. I'm so sorry. Just got to do your research and be willing to take a chance and try some new things. And none of these have ever made me feel worse. But I was always scared each time that I tried something new, because you just don't want to feel worse. It's already bad. But I hope that you really enjoyed this video and got something from it. If you have something that's not on this list, I would love to know, to add it to my arsenal. And I hope that you feel better. I really do. Thank you so much for going on this adventure with me. And please keep coming back. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, yada, yada, yada. Take care of you.